Hey everyone, Lyle here from West Tennessee Gold and Silver Exchange, and today I got this collection to look through. Hello and welcome to this video. If this is your first time, my name is Lyle and I own West Tennessee Gold and Silver Exchange here in Savannah, Tennessee. I do a lot of videos of all of the collections that come into the store, and I try to evaluate them while the customer's here, and then if there's stuff that I feel like I'm going to need more time, of course, I'll let them know. They'll leave it. I'll look through it so I can make sure to give them a nice, fair offer. But most of the time, they just want me to give them an offer, and I do the best I can, give it to them. They're happy. I'm happy. I get this collection. I get more content. So it's a win-win, basically. Before we get started looking through this collection, I kind of want to remind you guys that I am running a giveaway. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers, and you can help by going to this video right there and liking. Leave a comment. You will be entered to win I think first prize is a silver eagle, and then a couple of odds and ends things that I had laying around. So there's going to be 3 winners. Go ahead and view that video. Go ahead, give it a like, subscribe, and you will be entered to hopefully win one of the prizes. So let's get started looking through this little collection. Now this guy came in. He said he inherited a lot of this stuff. He's really not sure if there's anything in there that's really valuable. I looked through it fairly quickly. I didn't really see anything that jumped out at me. But you never know. Once you actually start digging and looking through exactly what we have in here, there could be something good, and of course there could be something that is not so good. So I want to go ahead and just start taking out the stuff that I know is face value, like this Eisenhower right here. It's the Bicentennial Eisenhower. Yeah, they're cool, but as you can see on the rim, you can see all the copper. There is no silver. So there's a few of these, the bicentennial years, that are 40% silver, and those do have good silver value. But this one, it's just $1. I mean, you can probably still go to your bank and ask if they have any Eisenhower dollars. And if you're lucky, they might. And if you're even luckier, they might be able to order you some from the Federal Reserve. So that's that one. And these, let's get all of the Kennedy halves out. Looks like there's one more, and then here's a bicentennial quarter. So I'm pretty much just gonna start separating everything and putting things into nice, neat little categories so I can better look through them. But these guys are all 50 cents, all face value stuff, not really, no silver in those. And this bicentennial quarter, which I love this quarter, I love this design, but there's really not much value to it unless it was one of the 40% silvers. So that is all face value stuff. Now let's get these. Got some Morgans in here and a couple of halves. I see that. Here's another bicentennial quarter. Put that away. And here's oh, look at this. It's a Columbus coin, $50. I believe this is the first commemorative coin that we have. For being the first commemorative coin, it's really not worth much. I think the Red Book has this at about $20. But still fun. I'll put it in a little sleeve and throw it out in the display case. Somebody will pick it up. I've had a few of them come through. And why these are in here, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I took these, what are these, garnets? I took these out of a ring. I pull all of the stones from all of the scrap that I get, and somehow they made their way into this pile. So let's keep on making some piles. Looks like we got some foreign stuff here. All right, so it looks like we are kind of separated, which will make things a little bit easier on my end. So these guys right here, they're foreign coins. This is a foreign coin. I think the only reason why I left them in here is because these are silver. And This one, maybe it's silver. It's a 10 cents from 1943. I believe it is silver. Let's give it a quick noise test. No, I don't know. Maybe. I'll get the Sigma later and we'll see. We'll see what these guys are. This one I'm positive is a silver coin. I'm just not sure where it's from. But yeah. Silver. We love silver. Foreign stuff doesn't really sell that good. Foreign silver doesn't sell good. But I do the best I can to go ahead and sell everything I can. Worst case scenario, that just ends up going to the refinery. Let's look through some of these pennies. Let's separate these guys. We got some Indian heads. Here is some wheat pennies. Indian heads, wheat. And inside these baggies, they look like they are Indian pennies. As far as these wheat cents go, there's a few of them that are worth some good money, and there's some that are worth almost no money. So usually rule of thumb is if it's in the early teens with a mint mark, it's going to might be worth something. If it is not, then it might not be worth much. Let's take a quick look at these right here. These guys I know are steel. Let's just get these out of the way. The only one that's really worth something is the 1944 steel. And these guys are all 43. They're all just the standard steel ones. Not much value in them. I throw them in the stuff that I throw back into circulation because I think it's fun to throw it back. And that's what I do with a lot of this. A lot of this stuff that's just not really worth much. Here's a 1955. Is it a double die? It is not. I'm still trying to find one out in the wild. I know it probably will not happen, but you can dream, and you can dream big. 1955, single die, not worth much, a few cents. And we got a 1945 right here. We got a 1944 with a nice gash on his head. And 53. So these wheat pennies have hardly no value to them. Now let's go for the Indian heads. I'm not sure what was going on with the color earlier. I tried fixing it a little bit, changed around the settings. Hopefully it looks a little bit better for you guys, but I'm not really 100% savvy when it comes to this stuff. I just wish there's a setting where I can just click and say, okay, just make whatever I'm looking at look better, and we're good. But I don't have that. So hopefully it looks a little bit better. Let's move on to these Indian heads. And these guys were minted in the 60s, 1860. So those are going to be the ones we look for. We're going to look for the early 60s, the 70s. Not really much 80s, definitely not 90s. I think there may be one in the 90s that's worth something. I think it's a double die. But if we get a 1909S, that's pretty good. 1908S, those are good. So let's kind of look to see what we got. Here is a 1904. So this one is a common. And here is a 1907, which is also a common. And let's get some of the more rougher ones. Here's a 1900. That one's pretty common. It's in rough shape. Here is a 1898, another one that's pretty common. Like I said, we're looking for stuff in the 60s, in the 70s. This one is from 1896, maybe 1990. Not sure, but either way, that one is common. Here is a 1901 common. Had a customer walk in while I was in the middle of recording, which is okay. I don't mind one bit. Let's keep going with these Indians. 1905 with a nice hole in it. Those are no good. A 1903. And here is a 1906. Pretty rough condition. got some corrosion on it. But we got these in these little bags. I didn't really look to see what years these were. Let's take them out of these bags because that glare from the lights is probably not going to be good. Get those out of here. And we got a 1905. That's a common. And 1906. Those are common. So let's put them over here. And let's move on to these nickels. So I see right off the bat we got 2 war nickels. You can always tell a war nickel because of the mint mark right above the Monticello. And that one also has it. So these guys are 35% silver. If you're in the stacking game, don't forget about the silver nickels. Those are going to be good for your low trades. Let's put these into some nice categories. We'll do the dimes next because I see some pretty interesting stuff in here. Get these V nickels. This one has some buffaloes. This is a V nickel, some buffaloes. Here is a 1940. So that one is just face value. All right, we got our piles. Let's start with the V nickels. On the V nickels, we're looking for the early 80s and somewhere around the early 90s can still have some pretty good one. One of the better ones, of course, is the 1912S. If we can find one of those, that would be nice. But let's take a quick look at what we got. So let's start with this one right here. This one looks like it's a little bit beat up. 1887. 1887, that might be a good one if it wasn't in such rough shape. I don't think I'd be able to sell this one at a good price. A little dinged up, but kind of bad. So we'll just put that. I'll probably end up throwing that one back into circulation just to make somebody happy. Maybe a kid will find it one day. It's got a nice gash right here. I can not really make out the date. There we go. 1896. 1896 is going to be common. And now we got focus. All right, so 1896. That one is a little bit of a key date, but this one's in such rough shape. It's not. It's very discouraging again. So we have 2 that were they're pretty okay dates. It's just the condition is just rough. We got a 1895. This one can get a little bit good too, but these guys are just in rough shape that I'll end up throwing them into circulation because they're harder to sell when they're in rough shape. And we got an 1899. This one is common. Throw that into circulation as well. Throw it back, as I like to say. 1902. Another one that will get thrown back into circulation in the hopes that a kid will find it and we'll get them into loving coins just as much as we all do. 1897. Another common. This one right here looks to be in fairly decent shape. And it's a 1883. 1883 is the first year of the V-nickel, and there's 2 different types of V-nickels that year. There's 2 varieties. We got the one that has the word cents, and then we have the one that doesn't. This one does not say cents on it, so it is, I think that is variety 1. Variety 1 is the one that does not have the cents. So this is pretty cool. We got a nice variety coin, and it's in pretty decent shape, so I might be able to get a few bucks out of this one. It does kind of look like there's some cracking going on right on the edge right there, but I'll throw this in a flip and put a nice price tag on it. Somebody will pick it up because it is good shape. It's the first year and it is the first variety. So that's pretty cool. Then we got these guys right here. These guys are in pretty rough shape, but they are some shield nickels. So this is the first nickel minted. But they're in pretty rough shape. This one's in pretty rough shape. I don't even think I can see a date on it. This will probably be another one I will throw into circulation just so somebody can find it and be like, what is that? And then they'll probably end up bringing it back in here thinking that it's something good. And then I will tell them, wow, you found my nickel. So back to this shield nickel. It is a 1867. There's a few varieties of the 1867. Let's see which one this is. Now, there's going to be one with the rays and one without the rays. So we have the rays would be in between the stars, and there is no rays. So this is variety 2. It is a 1867 without the rays. This one's a pretty good one. We'll get a few dollars out of this one. The front is pretty worn, but you can still see the date very well. 1867. The back, not so good, but there's still some detail on it. It's the first nickel ever made, so I'm pretty sure I can get a few bucks out of that one. Here are the buffaloes. Here are 2 buffaloes that have no dates on them. These no date buffaloes. Oh, this one right here kind of has a very faint date of 19. I'll show you this one first. This one definitely cannot see the date at all. But on this other one, it is a... Oh, it was... Oh, there we go. 19... What is that, 25? 1925. Very worn. I don't know if I can see a mint mark. Let's find out. If it's a D, it can be worth a few bucks, but I don't see a mint mark. Plus, it's pretty worn. Don't see a mint mark. It would be down here. But 1925, I don't think I can't even see it with the naked eye. It's just the camera. Very sensitive, can barely make it out. 1925. Here's another one without any date, it looks like. This one's got some corrosion or something on it. No mint mark on this one either. Not a 3-legged buffalo. Would it be nice to find one out in the wild? And here's another one. This one is a... oh, wow, a 1913. Is that a 13 or is that a 15? That looks like a 1913. There's a few varieties of this one. Yeah, there's about 2 varieties of the 1913, I believe, in the back. It looks like this one, the 5 cents, is this dirt, gravel, whatever you want to call it. It looks like it's raised. Let me see if I can grab another one. On this one, you can see that the 5 cents is pushed in further, and this one is on top. So this is one of the variety ones. I believe, let's see, variety number 1 is this one, which is pretty nice. If only we had a mint mark underneath it, it'd be even better. This one is the not so sought after one. If it was a D or an S, it'd be more money, but it's still a very nice find. Variety 1 buffalo nickel right here. All right, let's check out these dimes. I keep getting distracted. People keep calling. They want their silver. I'm trying to do a show here. So we got some dimes. I'm really not too familiar with dimes, so I'm going to have to use my reference on some of these guys. So this is looks like it's a seeded 1854. Let's check out 1854 in my red book. 1854 looks like it would be a decent year if it was in better condition. And this one is a little bit harder to get, but in this condition, I try not to sell stuff that's in very rough shape. But this one, I might throw I don't know, $15 price tag, $10 price tag. I don't know yet, and see what happens. If somebody's trying to put together one of these books, they'll definitely need an 1854, and I will happily supply them with it. Let's check out these Barbers. We got a 1896. 1896 is, whoa, looks like it could be a good one if we have an O or if we have an S. Let's see when my camera focuses. There we go. 1896. Let's see if it's an O or an S. This could be a nice key date right here. And, ooh, look at that. It is an O. Perfect. We got a nice key date right here. 1896 O. 1896 O, good key date. This one is in, the back is in pretty rough shape. The front still has semi-okay details. Can't really see the rim at all. But yeah, this is a nice key date find right here. Now let's see these other ones. We got now that we got a nice key date, see what else we got. 1893, 1898. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a 3. If only I can focus more on it. 18. Yeah, I believe it's a 1893. An 1893 can be somewhat of a key date if it has a mint mark. Let's find out. And nope, no mint mark. Little bit of a okay date, but not to the point where I can command a good premium over on it. This one right here, it's in rough shape. This one is definitely an 1898, not like the other one that was a 93, but an 1898 will not really command much money. Doesn't matter what the mint mark is. So this will probably end up getting thrown in with the junk silver to be sold as silver. Now let's look at these Morgans, because I know Morgans fairly well. Let's see. Let's start with this one. This one's a 1889. 1889 O. That is a common. That is common. And 1921, decent shape. I mean, look at the nice detail on it. Does look like it has been cleaned. You can tell by all of the marks, the scratches, all going in the same direction. Plus, it doesn't have that cartwheel that we like to see. So 1921, not bad. There's another 1921 right here. This one's not in. It's in decent shape. Not as good as the first one, but still nice. And an 1880. This one's fairly worn. It looks cleaned. There we go. 1880. This one has definitely been cleaned. 1880s. So these Morgans are pretty common. Nothing to see there. Now we got these half dollars. Let's see what we got here. This one, very, very worn. I hope it's not a key date because I need to find key dates that are in great condition. This one is a 1862. That one is a semi key date if it's the right mint mark. Let's see if there's anything back here. I can't really tell because it is so worn. But maybe it looks like there's something there. I can't tell. It is so worn. But if it was a 1862S or an 1862S or 1862 no mint mark, it can be worth some money, but hard to tell. It does look like there's an S there. Both of these years are decent, but it's in rough shape. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys use these as album fillers? Or should I just throw this into the... Oh, wait, there it is. I can see the S. It's right. Get my pen. It looks like it's right. I lost it. Let's see if I can find it again. Right there. Does that look like an S to you guys? Yep, there it is. You can see it. If the camera would focus at this angle, but it won't, let's try to get the camera to focus. You can see it right there. Right there. There's the S. So this one is the S. Not the better one of this year, but still a key date nonetheless. $18.59. $18.59. Let's see what we got here. This one could have been worth a few bucks if it just wasn't in this rough shape. 18.59.0. And it's just in rough shape. But I'll put it in a flip, throw it in the display case, put a price tag on it, and see what happens. If nobody picks it up in the first month or so, then it just gets thrown into the junk silver bin because it is just worn. But this one right here, this one looks to be in decent shape. This right here is a 1875. It would be great if it's a Carson City. Let's see what we got. 1875 S, San Francisco. Would have been great if it was a Carson City, but San Francisco, I will take it. And this one looks to be in much better shape than the other ones. Awesome. Oop, and I drop it. And there we go, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and put all of this stuff away, put it in wherever it needs to go. And I have some more collections that I'm going to do videos on. So stay tuned. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.